As rumors swirl surrounding the eventual successor to Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm, one man that's been highly speculated to take over the position may have just taken on another role for the Walt Disney Company. Let's talk about the surprise announcement, which has Jon Favreau working on a Disney Plus Oswald the Lucky Rabbit project of all things, here on That Park Place.
Breaking news, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit TV series from Jon Favreau in the works at Disney Plus. I was hearing rumors about this yesterday, and I thought, no, that's so weird. That's insane. Why would they do that? Especially after they maybe they weren't telling the truth when they said they weren't going to be doing much more animation on Disney Plus, especially long form animation. Well, we might find some answers here on why it's not quite animation. This from Nelly Andriva over there at Deadline. Over the last decade, Jon Favreau has been a linchpin of Disney Plus's original series slate with flagship The Mandalorian and its offshoots, while also taking on classic Disney animated characters on the feature side with the live-action photorealistically animated. Oh, that's a new way to talk about it. The Jungle Book and the photorealistically animated The Lion King. I love that they're finally getting with the times and not calling it the live action Lion King. By the way, The Jungle Book, way better than The Lion King. The Jungle Book is near the top list on the live action remakes. Now he is combining the two with a new series in development at Disney Plus, Deadline has learned. I feel like they're skipping part of the lead there. He's also the reason that the MCU is as successful as it is, because he's the reason that Robert Downey Jr., his Iron Man, he set the tone for the entire MCU. And then Kevin Feige fiddled with it a lot, with some success, and also the Eternals. The animation live-action hybrid is about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, a saucy, self-absorbed bunny. Favreau is writing and producing the project from Walt Disney Studios. So they finally have Jon Favreau doing a legit animated film of some kind here. It's a live-action hybrid, though, so I don't know if we're in How to Train Your Dragon, Who Framed Roger Rabbit land. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is very important to the Walt Disney Company. The cartoon, which bears close resemblance to Mickey Mouse, has a fractured history with the company and played a pivotal role in the creation of Disney's most famous animated character. This is interesting. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, I think they're leaving out the acquisition of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The basic version is there's a guy named Charles Muntz or Mintz. I forget which one, because Charles Mintz, I think, is the name of the guy from Up. If not, it's the reverse. It's Muntz is the guy from Up, and Mintz is the guy from Universal that got the Disney Brothers cartoon studio to, or maybe it was Laugh-O-Gram at the time. Who cares? It's somewhere in the list of names that the Disney company was. They got them to make Oswald cartoons for Universal, and there was some kind of a dispute, and Disney wanted to leave and take the Oswald cartoons with him, and they said, no, we own Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And so then he went off and created Mickey Mouse, actually Mortimer Mouse, and then it got changed famously by Lillian Disney to Mickey Mouse. So then many years later, there was a contract dispute between ABC and NBC, and NBC wanted Al Michaels. And the Disney company traded Al Michaels for a cartoon bunny.
It's my favorite story because it's so ridiculous. Charles Mintz, by the way, was the person that stripped Oswald away from Walt all those years ago, and him and along with Ub Iwerks created one of the best characters of all time, obviously Mickey Mouse. And yes, you were exactly right. They wanted Al Michaels for Sunday Night Football, a live sports show that would obviously cover the NFL, and they would have their own Sunday Night Football games and so forth in order to compete, in part actually with Monday Night Football, and that has become a very successful product, even beyond Al Michaels actually being involved right there. But he was definitely instrumental in getting that launched the way he did. But yes, he was traded for a cartoon mouse. Bob
Cartoon
Iger looked
rabbit.
at the
Cartoon rabbit.
no, sorry, cartoon rabbit. Bob Iger looked at obviously understanding the history of the company, looked at what Universal or Comcast could offer in that trade right there. That's what he chose, and it was an interesting choice. And at first, it seemed like it was like, oh, this was really pivotal, and this was really a great move right here because they moved a lot of Oswald merchandise. In fact, Oswald played an even bigger presence at Disney California Adventure Park, actually, when it was going through its 2012 Revitalization 2.0 project right there, which, by the way, I do have some Oswald B-roll, which I'm going to be placing on this video right now. There's no other place for it, so this is perfect.
Right.
And it's, people were very excited. The problem, though, is that they stopped using the character shortly thereafter.
Well, that sounds like a small thing in the grand scheme of Disney today, but it's actually one of my proudest moments because it was a great way to honor our founder, Walt Disney. And I think he'd be thrilled to know that Oswald is back home. Now, frankly, we have not done enough with Oswald yet. But we're working on it, and we've come up with a few very interesting ideas. Maybe. We have any others? No, I don't think so. No? Okay. Well, anyway, you get the story. I think we have a lot of work to do, but don't worry, Oswald's got a great future ahead of him. Now, seriously, Oswald's an important part of Disney's legacy.
Right. So 2006 is when this deal happened, and then is it Disney California Adventure where there's like a dividing line where it's the pre-Oswald era, and then if you go past a certain place in the park, it's after that is the Mickey Mouse era. But I think I saw a Provost Park Pass video about that dividing line there. So obviously the Epic Mickey games came out of the Oswald acquisition here, reacquisition, whatever you want to call it, because it didn't belong to the Walt Disney Company. It never belonged to the Walt Disney Company, but it is another piece of history. By the way, my Oswald the Lucky Rabbit ornament is one of my favorite Disney ornaments to put on the tree every single year. Man, I get nostalgic on the idea of that old Disney stuff. And they obviously did Epic Mickey: The Power of Two, or Epic Mickey 2 or whatever. And they just did Epic Mickey Rebrush. So they're still using Oswald in some way. They did a redesign of the character, and he's got blue pants now. He had black pants back in the day because it was a black and white cartoon. But this is someone that they have not really used that much at all. So let's scroll up here. There's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. He's not even that clearly defined as he is in the cartoons themselves. In this poster right here, I think Jon Favreau working on this may have some implications for the rest of the company. I don't know if this makes the change that everyone is contemplating. Whenever there's a change at Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau's name comes up because he's the only person that is associated with Lucasfilm that is thought to have the chops to run a studio. Whether or not he wants to run a studio, I think that's usually the linchpin there. Whatever Jon Favreau does with this, I'm interested in seeing what he does. I would tune in for this on Disney Plus, even though Disney Plus is mostly a dead streaming service at this point.
A lot of people might actually be looking at this and going, "What, Jon Favreau, Iron Man, Mandalorian? I mean, why would he do anything like this?" Well, Jon Favreau is actually a really, really big Disney fan. So this actually doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I know that he wanted to kind of branch out and do a lot of cool and amazing things, like that Magic Kingdom film that was highly rumored and speculated for months there that he would actually partake in and direct. The concept was kind of a night at the museum, but with audio animatronics at Disneyland. That was a really, really cool kind of idea right there. I actually toured the parks quite extensively in order to do a lot of research for that film. Unfortunately, it never came to pass. So to blend animation in a similar way to Who Framed Roger Rabbit with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, I think is actually a pretty decent move. Might I dare say right there? I understand Oswald's not the biggest character, but look, if it's low stakes game for Disney Plus, Jon Favreau attached, it has a possibility of working. So we'll see.
Right. And speaking of that Magic Kingdom film, here was Favreau talks long rumored Magic Kingdom Disney film. This was from Ken Miyamoto back on April 8th of 2016. Oh, well, happy birthday there. Director Jon Favreau had a long gestating project of his at Disney that may finally see the green light after the strong reviews of Jungle Book. Well, they didn't do Jungle Book. They ended up doing they didn't end up doing this. They ended up doing Lion King. Well, hopefully now with Jungle Book, if it works out well, we can explore what the Magic Kingdom could be. Magic Kingdom is a story I've been developing. Michael Chabon wrote the draft about Disneyland coming to life in all of the different lands and attractions, all overlapping one another, creating a big adventure that a family gets caught up in. It's something I feel very passionate about. Part of the reason I explored this technology I used on the Jungle Book is because I was considering it for that film, and maybe it might be something we work together on. Like you said, Jon Favreau is a Disney fan. He was a Star Wars fan. I don't know how much of a Star Wars fan he is anymore these days. He's still attached to stuff. He's working on The Mandalorian and Grogu, so who knows when he'll actually start on this, or if he's even really directing The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Fine, I'll be the conspiracy theorist about that one. So I think this is good news. And the only people that sounds like he'll have to answer to on it would be maybe Jared Bush. But I don't think Jared Bush is going to be a big problem as far as that goes. Also, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, there's a lot of territory that they can cover there. There's not a lot of lore on Oswald the Lucky Rabbit that they it's a moldable character. If it's Mickey Mouse, they can play around with the idea of who Mickey is. But if it's Oswald, they have a lot more territory to really do what they want with it. It's as long as it's not the Paul Ruddish Mickey Mouse getting an entire feature-length movie. That one needs to stay in 8-minute snippets for me.
Yeah, that's a lot right there. There's no way I'm taking 60 or 90 minutes of Paul Ruddish right there. Didn't Epic Mickey explore the idea that Oswald was Mickey's dad? That's an interesting idea.
I thought they were supposed to be brothers.
I thought so too. And I think the only other thing that we've seen from Oswald, I'm trying to think back, there was like the little animation short that was put on Disney Plus. For some reason, Bob Iger was like, hey, check this out. And I was like, okay, you don't promote anything. So what are you doing?
Right. He wanted to brag about that. It was sports related because of trading Al Michaels for a cartoon rabbit. So let's see. Albertus Magnus, are you saying that Mickey Mouse is the first actual DEI hire? Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh boy, indeed.
Well,
some imagination, huh?
I think Disney is. It's like, why does Donald Duck wear a towel when he gets out of the shower? Well, because he's drying off. This is one that Disney would not touch with a 10-foot pole. Otherwise, they would bring up all the people who say that Mickey Mouse is actually a minstrel character. So, yeah. So, and Jim Jam, I love this. I can't wait to see Samuel L. Jackson as the voice of Oswald. Oh, that's beautiful.
That'd be good.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Your weekend is what you make it, unless it's one of those really bad weekends where you're just trying really hard to keep it together. But remember, it's not my fault.
I didn't kill Han Solo. Wokeness killed Han Solo.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.